It's Wednesday, January 15th.
It's not going to be good. I'll tell you that right now.
The tariff threat from the U.S. is days away from becoming a reality. Prime Minister Trudeau and Canada's premiers meeting in person today, talking strategy.
I'm literally hearing from every age and demographic.
It was probably one of the most difficult decisions in my life.
Well, the race is starting to take shape. Karina Gold is ready to step up. Francois-Philippe Champagne steps away from the Liberal leadership race. Mark Carney, Chrystia Freeland are both expected to officially enter in the coming days. Dramatic arrest. It took more than 1,000 police officers in South Korea to detain their defiant, impeached president as part of a corruption investigation.
Very nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you. I'm sorry.
The special visit
And you have
is in remission. That announcement coming as she visits the hospital where she received her cancer treatment. Stay with us, Canada. Your morning starts right now. Well, good morning, Canada. Welcome to Your Morning. I'm Anne-Marie Mediwake.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Lindsey Deluce, and boom.
I'm Kelsey McEwen, and I'm outside this morning because, you guys, we figured that I had like 25-degree weather last week. I might as well be outside in -10 just to keep the balance this morning. No, for real. I'm outside for a very fun event this morning, a very new special announcement from our friends over at Nespresso. We'll talk a little bit more about it later on in the show. But listen, if you are heading outside to grab a bus or get your day started, extra layers. That is the theme for today.
Yeah, it's like a slap in the face from Florida to the, and it's cold out there.
Well, with wind chill, what, like -17, close to that?
Cold.
Yes, the expert.
I don't want to talk about it yet. I don't want to.
Okay, all right.
We will get to that, obviously, throughout the show today. Excited for that, Kels. But first, let's talk politics, because really that's been the top story for a while now. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau will meet face-to-face with premiers today to talk tariffs.
It could cost 500,000 jobs. This is serious. It's unprecedented.
Part of today's meeting will be about getting everybody on the same page, really on how to respond to these tariff threats. Some premiers, including Ontario's Doug Ford, want to keep all options open. Other premiers, like Alberta Premier Danielle Smith and Saskatchewan's Premier Scott Moe, they don't want energy to be part of Canada's retaliation plan. Ahead of today's meeting, we know that Ontario Premier Ford met with Federal Finance Minister Dominic LeBlanc to go over Ottawa's border security plan. Other provinces are also planning to step up security.
We don't see much illegal crossing from the south to the north, even from the north to the south, but we have to be prepared.
So Quebec says it is ready to send 300 additional border agents to patrol the Swanton area. This is a busy section of the border with the U.S. It stretches between Quebec and Ontario. Quebec already has 800 officers patrolling that stretch. Saskatchewan has also released its border plan, which calls for 16 officers to be redeployed to high-priority areas. We are getting a clearer picture of the race to replace Prime Minister Justin Trudeau as Liberal leader.
I'm literally hearing from every age and demographic in this country.
I will dedicate my energy to defend Canada.
All right, so Government House Leader Karina Gould is expected to launch her campaign this week. Meanwhile, Industry Minister Francois-Philippe Champagne is not entering the race despite having considerable support in Quebec. Former BC Premier Christy Clark is also not running, saying the 2-month race doesn't give her enough time to improve her French. Meanwhile, sources tell CTV News that former Bank of Canada Governor Mark Carney will launch his leadership bid tomorrow in Edmonton, while former Deputy Prime Minister and former Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland is expected to make her announcement by Monday. So, if Karina Gould joins the race, it will include her, Montreal business owner Frank Baylis, Ottawa MP Chandra Arya, and Cape Breton's Jaime Batiste. It will also include Mark Carney and Chrystia Freeland once they officially announce their bids. Anyone wanting to run must declare by January 23rd and pay the $350,000 entry fee. The new leader will be selected on March the 9th. The first of 4 Canada carbon rebate payments is on the way today. Canadians living in Ontario, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Atlantic Canada will get the payment if they filed their 2023 taxes. The payments are issued every 3 months. The next one is scheduled for April. There's one in July, the last one in October. These payments are meant to help Canadians offset the cost of Ottawa's pollution pricing. A parliamentary budget office report found when considering fiscal impacts, the average household will receive more from the rebate than what they pay in a fuel levy and related GST. A proposed class action lawsuit launched in BC is accusing Loblaw, Walmart Canada, and Sobeys of underweight meat sales. So this lawsuit alleges grocers are using, quote, deceptive means that break federal and provincial rules by including the packaging weight in the price of raw and uncooked meat products that are sold by weight. The statement of claim alleges this means Canadians have been, quote, regularly overpaying for meat products at these grocery stores. A judge still needs to certify the class proceeding. To international news now, supporters of South Korea's impeached president are protesting this morning after his unprecedented arrest. The protesters are outside South Korea's corruption investigation office. Yoon Suk-yeol is the country's first sitting president to be arrested. He's being investigated for insurrection for his short-lived martial law declaration last month. This morning's arrest comes after a weeks-long standoff. Police climbed over bushes and cut through barbed wire to get inside Yoon's presidential compound. Wow, look at that. Officers tried to arrest Yoon earlier this month, but they couldn't get through his supporters. This time, they sent about 1,000 officers to make the arrest. Whoa. In a statement, Yoon said he allowed himself to be detained in order to prevent any bloodshed. Authorities have 48 hours now to question Yoon before deciding on whether to hold or release him. Meta is planning to fire 5% of what the company calls their lowest performers. These cuts are expected to affect about 3,600 jobs. In a memo to employees, CEO Mark Zuckerberg said the company already makes performance-based cuts. This time, they're doing it faster. Zuckerberg also says the fired workers will be backfilled later this year. Well, some positive news from the royal family as the Princess of Wales says her cancer is in remission.
Very nice to meet you.
So the princess made that announcement on social media after returning to the hospital where she received chemotherapy last year. Kensington Palace says the princess wanted to personally thank medical teams for their care and to offer her support to patients that are currently there. In her statement, she said it's a relief to be in remission and that she remains focused on recovery. A shocking sight in Worcester, Massachusetts after an underground explosion. Look at this.
Then I was standing up on the stairs, heard the explosion. I saw like a reflection of a flash across the steel here, and it sounded like artillery hit.
Whoa, that's wild. That explosion, it sent a manhole cover flying high into the air. A surveillance camera from a nearby bar captured what you're looking at. This happened just after 6 p.m. Whoa, do you see how high it went? See that thing? Wow. The manhole narrowly missed people as it fell back to the ground. Thankfully, no one was hurt. The road has already been repaired. The cause of the explosion, we don't know. It's under investigation. That's